Hello everyone, I'm your host Haroon Zuberi. In this video, we are going to learn that how can we create a dynamic sitemap for our PHP websites. So let's get started. To make this video descriptive, I have made this video divided into multiple steps. In this video, let's start with the sitemap introduction. A sitemap is a one that is a website map or that contains all your website URLs to help the crawler such as Google crawler or any other crawler to identify all the pages in your website. So let's move towards the step 1. In the step 1, we will see that how a sitemap.xml looks like, and then we will create a PHP file that contains the sample XML. So let's move towards the project that I have created for this particular video. Let's deep dive into the code. As you can see, I have multiple files in here. For the start, we will move towards the sample XML file. The XML file contains multiple things. Sitemap index, it is the one that is the header, or you can say header or the main thing of your website or your sitemap. The site map and the location and the change frequency. The whole thing that is here, you can see sitemap. The whole block contains a particular URL or information about a particular URL. The LOC contains the URL, actual URL. The change frequency is the one that is basically contains that how frequently the URL is changing. There are two different things. The number one, the other is the last modified. The last mode contains the timestamp in which the page or the URL last modified. So I can put even a date here. I don't have a date here right now. And the other thing is, you can see the other thing we have here is priority. The priority is the one that is allowing your website, allow the sitemap to identify how important this particular page is. So let's move towards our dynamic sitemap. For this purpose, I have created a simple PHP file and out of these three things that I just told you over here: the last modified, the priority, and the change frequency. To make up the PHP file with the XML, let's first copy up all the XML over here and route up in the PHP. I just put up here like in the echo echo So in this way we will make all our sitemap dynamic with all our dynamic URLs. It is basically we are in this way we are basically making up a dynamic structure over here. Echo. Okay, now we have our simple structure here. Echo. That's fine. To make but in the XML, if you see, we have multiple lines over here. Like you can see, for the purpose in the PHP we have PHP end of line here. PHP underscore dot PHP underscore end of line. So we will put it in the end of the every line. Okay, now we have our sitemap basic structure completed. Let's look at the browser. Sitemap.php. You can see it is looking like this. To make the sitemap, to make the PHP file loads like the XML, we have to add up the header at the top. That is one I have added, which is content type, text and XML. So it is exactly loading like the XML. Now let's try to load up all our pages in our website, or in our database. To demonstrate this thing, I have created up a sample project. So let's move towards the next step. The next step is to understand your database. So let me show you the database. For this video, I have created a sample database and make up a table name pages. In the pages, you can see we have multiple pages contain ID, title, slug, and content. So to have this page over here, to have all these pages in our sitemap, we have to go into the database. And so first of all, let's connect. So okay, and connection is equal to mysqli underscore connect, host name db underscore host, db underscore host is equal to, which is our local host, db underscore user is equal to root, db underscore password is equal to MySQL. In my case, in your case it can be anything such as empty string or something like that, and db underscore name. In my case, the db name is sitemap underscore demo, host name and db underscore user, db password, db name. Now let's query all our pages over here. But first of all, let's see how our website looks like. For this purpose, I have just make up some simple pages. You can see all these pages are coming from the database. Home page, page 1. You can see the page 1, page 2, page 3. They are coming from the database, and I have add the slug of the pages into the URL parameter. So you can simply move towards it. But to crawl our website over here, the page must be in our sitemap.xml. Now let's move towards this tab, MySQL connect, and SQL is equal to select generic. Let's make it beautiful. Right from pages, and result is equal to MySQLi underscore query connection SQL. To look through all the pages, let's write it like this. If not empty result, while page is equal to MySQLi underscore fetch object result. Let's put the object in here and see what we got. In here we must have a page. So let's copy all our pages over here, but before that we need to have our base URL defined. In base URL, let's put it here. Let's copy the whole thing and paste it here. Now you can see it's our base URL defined, and the first URL in our sitemap must be the home page. Base URL, so it is the base URL. Now let's move towards the other pages. Change frequency is daily, so let's make it like this. Now let's copy all the pages and put it here. But now here we do not have the URL like this, so put it and URL is equal to base URL, and just replace it with the base URL and URL here. Now the URL must contain the actual query param or the page slug. Now URL is here. Let's see how our sitemap now looks like. But you can see the sitemap must end up here. Yeah, now it's here. Let's make it a bit beautiful. Put it at the top. Just as a standard. Bit of a comment. Connect database. Base or home URL. Define basic XML attributes, so that we can easily simply get it at the end or in the future. Now fetch all the pages. See if we have anything in the result. and single page. Define a single page XML. Now let's look at the browser, sitemap.php. Now you can see all our pages that we have just created in the database are all in here. To just prove it that it is dynamic, let's try to insert another one in here. Insert page 11, page 11. Just put some dummy here. Now you can see page 11 is entered. Now let's try to refresh our sitemap. Oh yes, now you can see we have our sitemap page 11 in here. Now let's move towards the other steps. Now you can see all our PHP XML is now created. Dynamic sitemap is now working. Now what we need to do is that you can see we have a .php extension in here. For this we have the next step, which is to move towards the htaccess. To write something in htaccess, I already have put something in the notes. I will upload notes as well. So let's just copy them from here. Go to the htaccess file. Now you can see in this way we will simply saying the browser that we have the PHP file sitemap.php. It contains .xml, so show it as an XML file. Now I have put .xml here, sitemap.xml. Now you can see now the sitemap contains the data here. So in this way we can simply create our dynamic sitemap for our custom website. So that's all for the video, guys. In the next video we will see that how can we create a dynamic sitemap for our WordPress website. So stay tuned with me. See you next time.